Good morning, Troy Bridges here. I'm joined by Trooper Steve. We're going to be talking to you about the very latest on this 8 o'clock advisory with Hurricane Ian. Ian right now with winds at 125 miles per hour. It is moving over Cuba, but not weakening as it continues to move north over that warm ocean water temperatures in the upper 80s, near 90 degrees. We will see this thing strengthen to a Category 4 hurricane. So Trooper Steve, as we show this latest track here, look at that. It's likely to weaken just before making a landfall there near Tampa Bay. Anywhere from Tampa Bay to Fort Myers is where this could make a landfall and then move right in to Central Florida. Look at that. If it makes landfall as a Category 3 major hurricane, you had a question earlier this morning about how long it would take to actually weaken. This thing is still going to be a Category 1 hurricane if this track holds true right over Central Florida. I am not able to hear you, Trooper Steve, but I'm going to keep going, and I'll pause, and you can jump in, and hopefully we're talking about the same kind of stuff. Again, Category 1 hurricane moving right over land, and it doesn't just drop off to a tropical storm as soon as it hits land. It still has time over land near Tampa Bay or really anywhere within this cone to weaken to a Category 1 hurricane. So we're likely to see a Category 1 hurricane with winds at 100 and 100 mile per hour winds or greater. Really, it takes for a Category 1 hurricane, rather, it takes 75 mile per hour winds, 74 plus, and then it continues to move over land and weaken eventually. So we could have 74 mile per hour winds or greater over Lake Sumter and Marion counties heading into early on Thursday. So we expect landfall late Friday, early Thursday, and then eventually moving over into our western zone. So if you have hurricane force winds stretching 100 miles out of this storm or 35 to 100 miles out, depending on how strong it is and how far out those hurricane force winds would be, you could have hurricane force, at least wind gust, all the way over to our east coast, depending on exactly where that center of circulation would be. So here we go as we continue with the cone, all of Central Florida included within the cone, the computer models all taking it right in to Central Florida and then making a turn to the north. So this is a good tool to show you the wind radii. All of the yellow that you see there, that's going to be tropical storm force winds beginning to move into most of Central Florida as early as Wednesday by 1 p.m. Now, a different computer model, we have several different computer models with differences on the timing here, but this is one of the tools to really show all of those winds. All of the yellow shading covers all of Central Florida by Thursday, 1 a.m. with at least tropical storm force winds. That's close to 40 mile per hour winds or greater. And then hurricane force winds, where you're seeing the red near Tampa, Tampa Bay, and then extending out, the orange would be close to tropical storm force or hurricane force wind gusts. So we could see those wind gusts for a large part of Central Florida, including Orange County, even Seminole County, as this continues to slide farther to the north. So as you see that round color brown there in the center, again, some of those gusts up to hurricane force. So Trooper Steve, that really does paint the picture of what to expect when you have people asking, is it really going to hit us? Yeah, every county, every city, you say municipality, right? Every municipality in Central Florida likely to at least have tropical storm force winds, but some gusts up to hurricane force. Yeah, so he gives a thumbs up. I'm wondering if there are any.
Can't hear me, right?
I think I can hear you now.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
magical.
I can. Yay! All right, go,
Look at
Trooper
that.
Steve.
But we only have 4 minutes because we have to go do a cut-in here
Yeah.
on live TV.
Mhm.
But I like this graphic. It's my favorite one because at the end of the day, if you are in a county that has a color on it, you're going to see some effects. So the way that you were able to break that down this morning and obviously give that timeline. And I think, as what I call myself the outsider of the weather world here, you guys, I think that's what people are interested in, the timeline. And that last graphic, seeing that Thursday 2 a.m., then breaking it down by the next hour. Obviously, we know it can speed up or slow down, and that's why we're keeping you here. But at the end of the day, I like this graph. This is my favorite graphic because it explains it very simplified.
And it just shows, bottom line, we're all going to have tropical storm force winds, and many of us, depending on this movement, if it moves farther to the east, most of us will have hurricane force wind gusts. At least that's 75-mile-per-hour winds or greater. That means a wrap. We've got to go and do some television, but we'll be here around the clock updating you on all the platforms.